how can we make a circle graph about these 3 activities? Of course, you already did it, and so you're only gonna check whether you did it right or wrong. First thing you need to understand is how the relationship is gonna be working. As you read, you're always gonna have a relationship between the percentage, which the total is always gonna be 100. As you know, the 100% always goes as a total in percentages. And in this case, we're gonna talk about 78, just because we are right here, we're gonna determine the moment lengths, degrees, okay? So then, of course, the total of degrees we can actually use here, it's gonna be 360 degrees, because we are in a circle, and that's the total degrees a circle has. So 360, and of course, this x, I'm gonna write it down as an x. It's the value we need to find, right? As you understood, we have to work with something that is called cross product. Cross product is nothing but actually multiply in cross. So you're gonna be multiplying 78 times 360, and then you're gonna be multiplying 100 with x, which you just write it all together, because between a letter and a number there is multiplication. Now 28,080 equal 100x. Okay, now if I want to leave x alone, this is a regular equation. I'm just gonna divide by 100 in both sides of the equation. That actually leaves me x alone isolated on one side, and of course remember that if I divide by 100, I just need to move the decimal point. So I'm gonna have 28 0.80. So that is gonna be my answer. That is the first measure I need to do, okay? So what I'm gonna do now is that I know it's 281, but my protractor doesn't work because it's only half, right? It's fine. I'm gonna find the other 2 activities, and I know what is left is gonna be the moment lengths. So let's go ahead and work on the yard cleanup, which we know is 21%. So it's gonna be 21% out of 100 equal x over 360. And again, I need to work with the cross product. So that's gonna be 21 times 360 equals 100x. So if I do that multiplication, that's gonna be 7,560, and I'm gonna divide by 100 in both sides. I get x isolated, and then I'm just gonna move the decimal point towards the left to get the final answer, which is 75.60, which allows me to round into 76 degrees. Okay, so if I get this answer, that's what I'm going to measure over here, because it's just gonna be easier for me since I don't have a complete protractor. If you guys had a complete protractor, don't worry, you can begin with the 281 and you're fine. 75, 76 is right here. So I make the mark and then I cross the line. Okay, so I can just go ahead and use different colors, of course. How about I use this green over here? So this is gonna be 21%. And as you can tell, it's almost a fourth of the circle, right? I'm gonna do lines, but you can color it up. Now I'm gonna go with the 1%. The 1% is for planting. Planting goes with, of course, 1/100 equals x over 360. So 4 degrees is gonna be that 1%. So it's up to you. You can continue on this side and you can continue on this side. I actually like to go counterclockwise, so I'm just gonna go ahead and go that way. I'm gonna count 4 degrees, which is pretty small. 1, 2, 3, 4. Gosh, 1, 2, 3, 4. There you go, over here. And it's gonna look tiny, tiny, which is actually the point, okay? That is actually the point. Area that is right here, that is left, should be the beginning, right? The 78%, which corresponded to 281 degrees. So all this stuff, guys, is for the people who mow lawns. Okay, that's how you do the first point. See, not really that complicated. Now, if you think about point 1 and actually point 2 are done here. So we get both of them, and that makes everything way, way easier. Because within one exercise, you're actually answering 2 points of the lesson. Now, let's go ahead and work with point number 3. And let's begin with the supermarket flyers, which is 24%. So if it is 24%, we go 24 over 100, which is x over 360. And so that's gonna be 24 times 360 equals 100x, right? And so that's gonna be 8,640 equals 100x, and of course we're just going to divide into 100 in both sides to get x, and so that's gonna be 86.40, right? Which we can definitely just round to 86. Okay, and again we need to make sure we have the mark for our center, and then we're gonna make a radius here, and then we're just gonna measure the 86 degrees. So it's gonna be right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. That easy. See? And so that is gonna be the 24%, which is the flyers. Right? Now let's go ahead and work on the giveaway newspapers. So giveaway newspapers. That is 18%. So again, it's 18 over 100 equals x over 360, which makes it 65 degrees. So I'm gonna count 65 degrees. So it's supposed to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over here. Okay, and so that is gonna be the 18%, which was the giveaway newspapers. Then let's do the 56, because it's probably gonna be easier. So that is satisfied customers, and so that should be just 56 over 100 equals X over 360, which we can definitely just round to 202 degrees. Since I don't have a big one, I'm just gonna do the 2% then. So the local newspaper, it's gonna be 2 over 100 equals X over 360, which we can just make it 7 degrees. So that is 7, 10, 9, 8, right here, I guess. There you go. Okay, so I do 2% local, right? And so the rest, of course, is going to be dissatisfied customers, which I'm just gonna make it green. Well, way light green for you guys, I know. Hopefully you're able to see it. So this is gonna be the 56% for the satisfied customers. See? Very easy to make a circle graph, don't you think? Satisfied customers, before we had it in 56%. So now it's 56% plus 8%. So that means 64%, right? And so we actually need the new measure of the central angle for that category. What we would actually need to do is just to get the proportion done. That's it. Which I can definitely just round to 230 degrees. So see, that's how you get point number 4, of course. 5, right? Maria uses to know about new customers that drops. It drops 3%, right? And the new angle is 54 degrees. And they're asking us what is that way in the survey. Remember, we had different options. So what we have to work with is with actually the proportion we had at the beginning. Remember, we had the percent on one side and the 360 degrees on the other side. Well, we just gotta keep on working with that. Now, the thing now is that we actually know the degrees. So that vacancy right here, this spot is actually filled up. The spot we don't really know, it's the percentage. And why do we need the percentage? Because with the percentage, we can just go and look at the chart and just figure out what is the option we are looking for. So we're just gonna solve this. Actually 15%. Now remember, they're telling us here that it had dropped 3%. So the original way we're looking for, the original option we're looking for, gotta be that 15% plus the 3% it dropped, which makes it the 18%. And we actually know that is the giveaway newspaper, right? So that is your answer. The giveaway newspaper, but you already know, now you know what the proper process should be. Now for point 7, they're asking how can we explain whether we're actually doing everything correctly and we're not making any mistakes. Well, it's pretty simple. So all the angles you get to end up with 360 degrees. Now remember, we're rounding, so plus or minus 2 degrees in your addition is fine because you're always rounding, so that might just give us some error sometimes, but plus 2 minus 2 degrees is really okay.